Okay, welcome to the Excel 2007 Tables and Graphs version. Alright, first couple things here is I have my information here looking like a table, but I need to make the grids around the table clear so you can see. Here's what you do. You highlight the area you want to have outlined. You find this little box, the shadow box. It says no border. Pull down. And you have all these options. You want to go to all borders where it's black all the way around, and then it will form a table. If you want to edit the size of your font size, your lettering size, then you can highlight it, go up here to the size, and then you can edit the different sides of it. So if for some reason you have troubles like this where it says trial num and you've lost your R, then you just go up here and widen out your column. Alright, so here's how we're going to make the averages. If you want average data, I have sampling 1, 2, and 3 from the number of drops of water on the coin, but I want the average of that number. It's very similar to the other Excel demonstration. You go up to here and it says insert function fx. Then you select the average, and then you go over into the main frame of your table and highlight the numbers you want it to average, and then you hit OK, and then you're going to get your number. I do the same thing. Click on the box where you want the average to appear. Click on fx for function. Average. And then highlight the numbers you want it to calculate. Those 3 trials. And then the third time, function, average is highlighted. OK. Highlight your 3. And OK. So now I have the average showing up in my boxes. If you want to, and you notice that it has 0.3, 0.1, 0.3 at the end of the numbers, if you want to round or allow the numbers to see more numbers after the decimal point, highlight it, right click, go to Format Cells, and then under Format Cells, under this Number tab, it says Number, and I can adapt or manipulate the number of decimal places. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go to 2. Okay, and then you can see it. So it's 2 decimal places. I'm going to just kick it back to the 1 decimal place because that's all we're going to need for this. Okay. Now, in order to create a graph, you highlight the area you want to the data. You go up to the top, and you'll notice there's different tabs across the top. Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, View. Go to Insert, a column graph or chart. It says under the charts, column chart, 2D, and it'll create a graph for you. Now, in order to manipulate your graph, if you see here it says series 1, 2, and 3. If we look up at our table here and we look at series 1, you need to see what series 1 is being represented as. If you look, series 1, 56 drops. 56 is series 1.1. You see I highlight over and it says 56. This other blue bar is the 60, so that's my second trial. This is my third trial, and this is the average of the trials. Okay? Now, rather than have it say series, we want to change that to say 500 coin, 200 coin, 100 coin. The way that you do that is you go up to your top, and when your table is highlighted, you need to make sure your table is highlighted. If you notice, table isn't highlighted and I don't have the same options up here. Highlight my table and my options change. Under Chart Tools, you have Design, Layout, and Format. Let's look at Design. Select Data is what you're going to click on. It's going to give you this box here. I'm going to put it up here so it's out of our way. Now here, it says Series 1. You can edit. So Series 1 Edit. You can edit it and call it whatever you want. So I'm going to call it 500 coin. And then OK. And you notice down here 500 coin shows up. So Series 2 Edit. That is my 200 coin. Okay. Series 3 Edit. That is my 100 coin. Okay. So now my key corresponds with the data that I have. So the blue is the 502, is so on and so forth. Now I want to edit this. It just says 1, 2, 3, 4, but I want 4 to say average like it does up on my table. So I'm going to edit that. You simply go and highlight your y-axis on your table, the vertical information, and hit OK. And now you'll notice 1, 2, 3 average shows up. So that's good there. Okay. Now next thing you want to do is you want to go to layout, because we need to add a title, we need to label our x-axis, and we need to label our y-axis. Go to layout, and then you get this arrangement. Now make sure that you have the graph highlighted. If you notice, I unclick the graph and that goes away. You need to make sure it's highlighted under Chart Tools, Layout. Okay? Right here, clearly stated chart title. Let's add a chart title. You have a couple options. You can put it, this just tells you where you can put it. The best one, I think, is just above the chart. So chart title. Then you just click on the text box that they provide and put in your title. Number of water drops on each Colombian coin at room temp. Okay, so that's our title. Hit enter. Oh, excuse me. Click off of the box and then it'll be permanent. You do the axis, excuse me, axis title. Primary horizontal. Horizontal is your x-axis, and you can place it title just below, and you'll get a text box. So this is going to be trials. So that's the number of tries we tried it. The first time we tried it, second time, third time, and this is the average of our trials. And click off, and it is saved. Axis here, primary, vertical, or the y-axis. Click here on the first one that comes down. Click into your vertical text box, and then this is the number of water drops. Okay, click off, and it's saved. Now if you want to, you can make your table, or your graph, excuse me, much larger, just by pulling the corner and making it larger like this. Now, as you notice, it does not make your text any larger. So you can highlight your text in your text box, click to this Home tab, and then there you can manipulate your font size. So 20 looks good. Same thing over here. Highlight it, pull down, size 20. That looks good. You can do the same thing for all these. You can manipulate this text the same way if you would like. And title, let's make that a little bit bigger. Go to 24, and there you go. Okay, now a couple things about the table up here. You can manipulate the size of the objects by going, or size of the font by highlighting it and going to the text up there and doing that. You can go, and if you just want to print the graph itself, a full page graph, you just click on the graph, File, and then you're going to go Print. I'm going to just show you quick as a print preview, and you'll see that it shows up, excuse me, it shows up as a whole page. Okay, so that's if you want a big graph, the whole page. Okay, so we can close that. If you don't want the whole page and you want to get the graph and the table on the same page, then you unhighlight the graph, go to print. I'm going to just show you the preview, and this way you get both this table and this graph. But you notice the problem is that some of my graph was cut off. So the way that you fix that is you go up here to Page Setup, right by Print, and you set it to the landscape form. Okay, and now you'll see that you can get the table and the graph on the same page. Okay, if I close this in Print Preview, you'll also see another thing happens with your Excel file. You'll see this little dotted line shows up. That's the margins of your page. So if you take this graph and I drag it over here, and now I Print Preview, you'll see that part of my graph is cut off. Okay, see, it's cut off because it's not on the page margin. So I can close that. So you want to make sure you're looking at those things before you go and print. So it's a good idea to do the print preview. And you see they have the margins for the bottom and the margins for the right side of the page. Well, I hope this helps out, and if you have any questions, as always, you can come find me at office hours or ask me at the beginning class if it's a short, quick question. I hope this helps out. Have a great day. Goodbye.